Hello everyone, this is Pratima and welcome to Planet Physiology. At the outset, I want to thank all my viewers for critically engaging with my videos and giving constructive feedback wherever necessary. I truly value healthy discussions. They not only help to grow but also deepen the understanding of the topics from different perspectives. Recently, I received two important queries regarding my video on total leukocyte count. The first is about the function of TURX fluid and the second concerns the calculation part. Both are significant and so I decided to address them in this video. Let's begin with the first query. What is the role of glacial acetic acid in TURX solution? So this is the composition which I mentioned in the video and I stated that glacial acetic acid destroys RBCs without affecting WBCs. However, the question was whether WBCs are also lysed by the TURX fluid, and the reasoning behind this question lies in the fact that TURX fluid is hypotonic, which could theoretically lead to endosmosis and lysis of all the blood cells. Let's clarify this step by step. The primary hemolyzing agent in TURX fluid is acetic acid, the glacial acetic acid. It breaks down RBCs and accentuates WBC nuclei for better visibility under the microscope. It also imparts refractility to the WBC cytoplasm and creates a halo effect around the WBC nuclei. To address whether WBCs are lysed by TURX fluid, I referred multiple sources. The practical physiology books by G.K. Pal, Chatterjee, Nitin John, Chandrasekhar, Raj Kapoor and Vaishnav Bedi, as well as clinical pathology books like Daisy Lewis, Sunita Sharma and Harsh Mohan consistently state that TURX fluid causes hemolysis, that is breakdown of RBCs. However, none of these books explicitly mention whether WBCs are lysed. Practical physiology books by V.G. Ranade, A.K. Jain and Rashmi Ramanathan explicitly mention that WBCs are lysed by the TURX fluid. In contrast, C.L. Guy's book clearly states that WBC membranes are not lysed at the glacial acetic acid concentration used in the TURX fluid. I also referred to scientific articles for additional insights. I found one study conducted in Indonesia stated that leukocytes are stable in acidic solutions up to 3% glacial acetic acid, above which they are lysed. So these findings highlight that while acetic acid lyses RBCs, its effect on WBCs are subject to debate, with evidence leaning towards the WBCs being more resistant at this particular concentration. So another critical factor to consider in this case is concentration of glacial acetic acid used in TURX fluid. Across various books, the concentration is reported to range from 1% to 3%. Hence, to verify, I checked the descriptions provided by the laboratory reagent suppliers. In our lab, we use TURX fluid procured from High Media Private Limited, which contains 2% glacial acetic acid. Another leading supplier, Sigma Aldrich, prepares TURX fluid using 10 gram of glacial acetic acid per liter, equating to 1% concentration. Notably, neither supplier specifies whether WBCs are lysed by their formulation. For your convenience, I have included links for all these references in the description below. While counting cells under low power, WBCs appear as ring-like structures, indicative of presence of their membrane. Even though the clarity is better when observed directly through the microscope than through the camera, you can clearly see the cell boundary. However, when observed under high power, this ring-like structure is not evident. Here are the best pictures I could click when WBCs are observed under high power and by using special 100x objective. In both, you can clearly see the nucleus surrounded by the cytoplasm and the cells are circular. So most probably the cell membrane remains intact to hold the cytoplasm in place, but this is my opinion. Thus the information available is not conclusive on this matter. While there are discussions and hypotheses, no definite conclusions can be drawn at this point. If you are a faculty member or a postgraduate student, I recommend checking the concentration of glacial acetic acid in the Turk's fluid provided by your supplier and also critically analyze all these references and the facts. If you come across any scientific literature on this matter, please share in the comment section and let's continue to learn and grow together. Okay, now let's address the query about the calculation method. A viewer has asked whether we should add the cell counts of all 4 corner WBC squares to get the total number of cells counted or calculate average count from the 4 squares. In my opinion, both the methods are correct if you use proper volume factor. Let me explain this with example. Suppose WBC count in 4 corner squares are 38, 40, 45 and 35. Let's calculate total leukocyte count by the first method, that is by adding the counts. This method is given in most of the practical books. So by adding these 4 counts, we get total of 158 cells. So this is our N. This means that 158 cells are present in volume of 4 by 10 cubic millimeter. So in 1 cubic millimeter, we have 158 into 10 by 4 cells. So 10 by 4 here is volume factor. Since the blood sample is diluted 20 times, dilution factor is 20. Hence, WBC count in undiluted sample is 158 into 10 by 4 into 20, which is simplified to get 158 into 50. So the answer we get is 7900 WBCs per cubic millimeter. Now let's calculate the count by using second method, that is by finding the average of 4 counts. So first calculate the average of 4 counts by dividing the total by 4. So we get here 158 divided by 4, that is 39.5 cells in 1 square of WBC. So there are 39.5 cells present in a volume of 1 by 10 cubic millimeter. So 1 cubic millimeter has 39.5 into 10 cells and this is in diluted blood. So again we have to multiply here by dilution factor, which is 20, and hence we get WBC count as 39.5 into 10 into 20, that is nothing but 39.5 into 200 cells. So if you solve, you are getting the value as 7900 WBCs per cubic millimeter. So to conclude, both the methods give same result. You can use either method depending on the guidelines of your institute. But you have to remember that if you add the count, you have to use the volume factor 10 by 4, and if you calculate average from the 4 squares, you have to use the volume factor 10. But in both the cases, always count WBCs in 4 corner WBC squares. This helps to neutralize the effect of uneven distribution of cells. I hope this video has resolved the discrepancies and clarified your doubts. Keep posting your questions and feedback. It's your curiosity that drives this channel to grow and improve. Once again, a big thank you for your valuable feedback on this topic. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Are you new to my channel? Then please subscribe it and press the bell icon to stay updated about the new releases. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Thank you for joining in and see you in the next video.